Hey, good morning, and welcome to my channel where I talk about entrepreneurship, self-help, and happiness. But in this video, I'm just here to say Happy New Health. The title of my presentation this morning is Happy New Health. And I'm not doing this as a health coach or somebody in the medical field, but I'm doing this based on an experience that I went through starting December 31st, right? So on December 31st, as an entrepreneur, and if you've been following me for any period of time, you know how hard worker I am, how I love to work, how I love to go out there and show up and do the thing that I need to do to take care of myself, my family, and contribute to my community, right? But even though I have that drive to work this hard, and especially when you look at how far I have come, I consider myself among the people who start below zero, not starting at zero, start below zero. And when you start below zero, you have to make the groundwork until you get your head out of the water before even trying to achieve something big. But I do have big dream, and I did not let anything to stop me. That's why I kept going every single day to do what I have to do to achieve my dream. And of course, things has happened. I've been able to move up and enjoy certain thing, and I'm happy. But I'm not content, so I keep going. I keep going. But sometimes I just like, oh, I went in too much and not taking care of myself. So it happened that, especially at the end of 2019, when I was pushing for my goal, because I set goal for myself. These things that I wanted to achieve in 2019, and by December, I was still not, because especially when you aim this high, it's gonna be time that you may not be able to achieve those, which is fine. But I'm this type of person that I don't know how to stop, right? But at the end of the year, I start feeling sick. I started feeling sick, but I didn't slow down, and I just kept going. I just kept going, and get to the point where my little daughter got sick as well on December 31st, particularly. Things get worse, and we have to rush her to the hospital. Even though I didn't want it to go to the hospital myself when I was sick, but when it comes to, the people you really care about, especially a little one, you don't take any chance. That's how we had to take her to the hospital. So on December 31st, we had to rush her to the hospital, and as they check upon her, they decided to keep her there to monitor her situation on December 31st. Can you imagine getting ready to get into a new year where everybody was excited how 2020 is gonna be, and all of a sudden you find yourself in a hospital, and we were there for hours and hours and hours, and something hit me, and I have to ask for some time, come back home, and reflect on the situation. And then I make the decision, and I said, no, no, we're not gonna accept that. We're not gonna stay in a hospital from December 31st to January 1st, getting into a new year. So things has to change. So I make that decision, and then I went in and talked to my wife, and I said, no, we're not staying. We talked to the doctors. We said we're not staying. So they gave us some instruction, and then they released her so that we can actually come back home. But then when we were leaving, that's when something even much bigger hit me. And what was that? I saw the people that were in the hospital even before we came in. And I seen people who has been there for weeks and months, and they were not living, and they couldn't live because they have no choice, because their situation were worse. So when I got back home, I reflect a lot about it. I'm like, wow. So those people, They're not even planning, they don't have anything to plan about the new year coming because they have no choice, because their health did not allow them to. But I was fortunate enough, even though I was sick, to be leaving the hospital, to be taking my little daughter home because the situation was not that worse. But definitely that made me think twice and change the way I go about doing things. So that's why you haven't even hear from me. I haven't even post any single video on my channel from the beginning of the year until now, that I make a decision that I'm getting back to activity, because that situation that I've been through took me to a transition to things on doing things different way. So that's why now that I'm getting back to my activity, that I may be able to share some content with you regarding entrepreneurship, regarding self-help, regarding happiness. It's really important for me to make this stop and talk about health. So again, happy new health. My point here is to call on your attention to pay closer attention, if I allow myself to repeat that. So I want you to pay close attention to your health, because health requires those two things. In order to be in good health and being able to achieve the things that you really want to go after, you have to pay attention to your health, and it requires also commitment. Health does require commitment. In order to improve or to maintain your health, you have to be committed. It's something you have to, if you set your goal for the year, for the month, for the quarter, your health must be on that list. Especially as an entrepreneur, I want to remind you that your number one asset that will allow you to achieve all your dreams is your health. If your health is not in place, there is no big thing that you can actually achieve. So if you are a fellow entrepreneur, you are a startup, you're getting started on your journey and you have big things to achieve, I want to call on your attention that you must take care of yourself first, because if you don't have that, there is nothing that you can do. And especially at the moment I'm filming this video, the situation we are going through, the entire world is right now, must send you some question to pay more attention. Even when we get out of this situation, uh, I can say that we're not gonna get back to normal. There's gonna be a maybe close to normal, but it's all depend on how you want to take care of this. So it's important for me to bring this home and make it clear. As an entrepreneur, your number one asset is your health. So pay attention to your health, stay committed to your health. So since then, the situation that I've been through, I had to do things differently, and I have to take better care of myself. I have to incorporate certain things that I do. I'm not a big fan of like going to the gym and stuff like that. But now I am doing things that are keeping me healthier. Little things, simple things like eating well, with the help of my wife. We're trying to eat more healthy, and I'm trying to sleep. Before, I could go on and work 12, 16 hours, sometimes more. Sometimes I'll just sleep like a 2 hours in the day. I've been working some time that I didn't actually sleep for like a 24 hours, but no more stuff like that should happen in my life. So I learned to work more smarter. I learned to take better care of myself so that I can achieve those big dreams that are ahead of me. And that's the journey that I want to call you on. We want to achieve big things, but we want to make health our number one asset. So little things like eating well, sleeping enough, and exercising, those are little things that you could do from your home. I do it from my bathroom. Before I take my shower, I do some little thing that keep me in shape, and it gives me energy, give me more energy to actually go about my activity. So that was my message for you this morning, as we are embarking one more time on this entrepreneurship journey. Entrepreneur are the one that transform the world. But before you can help others, you must help yourself first. And your health is the number one asset I want you to pay close attention to. And I want to close with this quote that I get in touch with in my earliest day in America in 2012, when I read the book by Jane Fonda. And A.B. Blake, the pianist, was interviewed when he was 92, and he said this that stayed in my mind, even though I was not paying too much attention, but now it become like my favorite quote. And he said that had I know I was going to live this long, I would have take better care of myself. Again, I want to say it again. Had I know I was going to live this long, I would have take better care of myself. So if you live to age 92, but you are not in a good shape, then it's like you were dead like maybe 30, 40 years ago, and then you were just like keep going, not being able to enjoy life. So if, especially as an entrepreneur and you have big dream, you want to achieve things that your family can enjoy to impact your community, but at the same time you have to enjoy them as well. But if you are not in good health, how can you? So again, this quote say, had I know I was going to live this long, I would have taken better care of myself. So if your goal is to live long, please take better care of yourself. Follow the instruction, do those little things that help you. And when you have a to-do list, I want you to always include your health as a number one priority, so that you can be able to achieve those things and impact the people for a longer period of your time. So again, thank you. If you like this message, first thing, if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe. As an entrepreneur, I will be sharing a video every week regarding self-help, entrepreneurship, and happiness. It's really important for me that when you put everything together, you must be happy. It doesn't make sense to surround yourself with material possession and not being happy. So I talk about happiness, entrepreneurship, and self-help. If you like what you watch, share it, comment below. If there's anything you want me to talk about, please put it in the comment below. And if there is anything that I can do to contribute to your health as well, as much as regarding entrepreneurship, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching this this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening, depending on when you are watching it. And I see you again in my next video. Thank you, and God bless you. Bye bye.